So happy you're here today. This is Max, and today I'd like to start by giving you an idea of what you can expect. So, if you can, I'd invite you to close your eyes and take one slow, deep breath in and hold it as if you were holding all the tension of the entire year, and then breathe it all out. And let all of your attention and all of your focus gently drift down to the surface beneath you. Thank you for supporting me. So, if you're anything like me, the world rejected you. So you created a facade, a version of you that you hoped everyone and everybody would completely accept. And can you consider this was partially conscious, but mostly subconscious? Your eating habits, maybe the way you dressed, maybe some people pleasing, even your self-care and your health. And despite all that, maybe there came a time when you found that the world still didn't fully accept you. And of course, maybe you felt extremely disappointed, disillusioned, angry, or numb. So what now? Well, first, you're here. You have made it to this moment. Despite all that, you still get out of bed every day, and slowly but surely you are doing the best you can with what you know. And many, 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 many times, you are a gift to the world, and you're sharing what's really in your heart, and not only what you feel the world wants to see. But you made it. You're here. And even though you don't need my opinion or permission, I'm very proud of you. So now what? Well, can you consider that everything you've ever said or ever done was simply because you were trying to love and be loved in the ways you know how? How could you do anything different? And can you consider that anything and everything everyone else has ever said or done was simply because they were trying to love and be loved in the ways they know how, no matter how helpful or unhelpful, right? Except for people that eat cottage cheese. I think we can all agree that they're evil. And if that's you, well, I forgive you. Ugh. Anyways, can you lastly consider that there are a few really beautiful things that feel easy, parts of you that you're ready to express? And if you ever needed to give yourself permission, now is the time as we move into 2024. And I'd like to give some examples of these by listing the things I really want for you for this video and for the rest of your life. But only you really know who you are. First, I'd like you to give yourself a break. Give yourself a break that 99.9999999% of the time, you are not an awful person. So give yourself a break. Secondly, I'd like you to find times when you like who you are. Just as a side note, the people we like or don't like actually has very little to do with them. It really is about that we like ourselves when we're around them or we don't. In other words, we are closer to our authentic self around them or we aren't. So that's just a side note. Some examples for you to consider are most of us like ourselves when we hold a door for someone. We like ourselves when we can give or receive a hug. We like ourselves when people find us funny. We like ourselves when we are able to give from the heart and not expect anything in return. Can you think of some times in your life when you really like who you are? And triple those. Next, I want you to find the best dessert. Not just a general answer like, oh, I like apple pie or tiramisu, but I want you to, for the rest of your life, be on the lookout for the best apple pie. One of my favorites is tiramisu, obviously, so I love that. So when someone asks you what you like, you're responding from the heart, from your thumbprint of who you really are. And lastly, I want you to know that you do not have to give your energy away to people that hurt you. And that can mean a lot of things to different people. Of course, there's forgiveness. Of course, it has to do with your values. But if you ever needed a message or approval, which you don't, can you consider that if you've reflected on yourself, you understand any role that you have in feeling hurt, or any role you have and their role, and you've done your best to discuss it or make changes and they're still hurting you, you do not have to give your energy away there. So, with all that in mind, during our brief time together today, you can open your eyes and we will go through just a few really basic steps and a few movements that can really help us to undo the patterns of energy in our body that have become so familiar. And if energy throws you off or that feels weird, you could think of it as there's an energy to everything. And we will get to see that, but you can decide for yourself. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is for you today if you've been feeling really stuck, if you've been feeling like you don't know if it's you or if it's everybody else. This is for you if you've been feeling really tired, if you've been having lots of digestive issues, if you simply are too anxious to decide who you are and what you want in life. This may not fix all of that, but done on a regular basis, I can say it has completely changed who I am and changed my life. Not necessarily just these 3 exercises will do, but you get what I'm saying. So, find yourself in a place, if you'd like, where you can move and stretch just a little bit, and I will see you back in 29 seconds. All right? Okay. So I am going to have to unplug my headphones, but I trust that we'll be able to hear each other. So let's have a seat. Okay? All right. Okay. Lighting could be a bit better, but that's okay. All right. So I'm sitting on the floor, but you could sit anywhere, of course. So the first technique I'd like to show you that can be really helpful for changing your inner patterns is really good for if you've been feeling like you self-sabotage, which is such a overused, harsh word. I really feel that, well, it's as simple as this. You can make lots of mental changes. Maybe you want to, maybe you want to change jobs, but that's complicated. So maybe you change your thinking and you say, all right, I know what it's like to have this job. I've done it a while. I know what it's like to give it my all. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have good days or bad days. And I know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to have a different job. So it's time to change, right? So you can make mental changes. You can even make physical changes. Like maybe you start going online and looking for jobs, right? The point being, if you make all these changes, but you don't change the energy moving inside of you for that, often we very quickly get stuck because the energy is working against us instead of for us. An example of that would be like driving a car, and you can have an intention, I'm going to this grocery store instead of this one. And you can have that intention, you can turn on your car or whatever it is. You can know how to get there. But when you go, if your tires are going in reverse because maybe you've been going, maybe you were driving in reverse right before you parked or something. If the direction your energy's used to is in reverse, but you try to go, what happens? This is crazy. I know exactly what I want to do. Why am I so stuck? Why can't I just change things? You know that feeling? It's an awful feeling of like, what's wrong with me? Well, there's nothing really wrong with you. You just have a little inner work to do. And we can do that through physical movements and techniques that help balance things. So, today I think we'll just do things sitting down, but standing up is really good too. So I invite you to just start by tapping on your chest and your just below your belly button. And sit up real nice and tall if you can, so you're comfortable, but so your head is sort of suspended by a string, and you can feel your tailbone weighted down, and smile. And breathe in really deeply, hold your breath, look up, and breathe out with a sound. Ah. Sounds are really good. They're the vehicle through which emotions can leave and also come in. Okay? So keep doing this, and you're not just hitting yourself. My hands are somewhat cupped, so imagine you are sending a drum vibration deep, deep inside of you, through your skin, through your chest, through your stomach and lungs. Like a little massage for every cell in your body. And this may seem simple, but this is an amazing way to wake up your body to say, hey, I'd like to have a meeting real quick, because the posture we've been doing is not going to work if we're going to start making love with our partner again instead of avoiding it. Or the level of breathing we've been doing is not going to work if we're going to do karaoke finally. Or if we're going to speak up for ourselves. And hey, those feelings of anxiety or guilt, they're not going to be able to stay there if we are going to feel worthy of new habits and good things. Alright, take another deep breath in. Look up. Looking up stimulates your brain. And breathe out. And now you can tap anywhere you want. Maybe tapping on your shoulder. This is really good for your lungs. You can tap anywhere you want. Any place that feels a little sore is good. That means there's a blockage there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Breathe in. Stretch your arms out to the sides. Look up. And breathe out. And relax. Now that may seem very simple, but think about something that you're wanting to do differently in your life, starting in 2024, or starting in this moment. Does it feel any easier? Okay. So, that is a really simple technique that can be especially helpful if you are feeling tired during the day. Alright, next, we really want to clear things out at a deeper level before we start adding in the new. Alright? So one way we can do that is through continuing to make some sounds, but to bring our mind and our heart into it more. So I invite you to cross your legs and just notice which leg is on top. Is it your right leg that's on top or your left? Just notice that, okay? Good. And now I invite you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on the back of your head. And relax your shoulders down. And close your eyes for just a moment. And I'd like you to feel where your hand is touching the back of your head. Feel where your hand is touching your chest. Good. And And now imagine that as you breathe in, you're breathing in fresh new oxygen. And where does that go? Can you feel it swirl around your head and your brain and your mind, clearing out any cobwebs and breathing them out? Do you feel the air moving down your throat? Do you feel it in your chest, soothing your heart? Can you feel the air all the way down in your diaphragm, near your belly? Good. And now switch whatever hand was on the back of your head. I'd like you to put it on your chest, and whatever hand was on your heart, put it on the back of your head. And whatever leg was on top, I'd like you to switch and put the other one on top. This will feel really weird. This is the weird version. And what that does is it stimulates both sides of your brain. Okay, and now I'd like you to just imagine that your hands are really, really warm. And as you breathe in, it's filling your whole body with this warm, warm, golden light that soothes and relaxes every cell of your body, allowing for new things to enter. Keep your eyes closed and relax your arms down. And feel your body. I'd like you now to just imagine that you are standing at the top of a swirly slide, like when you were young. What color is this slide? Maybe it's pink, maybe it's bright green or yellow. Is this slide a tube slide? Is it open? Just notice how safe it is. And it's not very tall, but you can't necessarily see the bottom of it. And the more you easily visualize this slide, the more relaxed you become, and the more relaxed you become, the more effortlessly you see this slide. Can you feel sitting there now, your hands on the little railing? Can you feel more and more calm, yet feel that little spark of excitement in your heart as you know, and I know, that at the bottom of this is a cushioned, fluffy cloud into a place where there's no self-criticism, there's only easy clarity about your goals, what makes you happy. So now in a moment, we will count from 5 down to 1, and at 1, you will land in those clouds, feeling 1,000% more relaxed and lighthearted. And you will notice where you land is a setting that is your next step in life. And as much or as little detail as you see, know it's perfect. Get ready, breathe in and breathe out. 5, push off, feel the smooth guiding of the slide and feel the wind in your hair and the smile, letting go. 4, around. 3, letting go. 2, letting go some more, and 1, come out the side and landing on your butt in these clouds. And what do you see? What colors do you see? Is this a place inside or outside? Is this a place you know or don't know yet? Are there other people here, or animals, or just you? Whatever it is perfect for you, and know that whether it makes sense or not, your subconscious will continue to clarify it over the next few days and in your dreams. Most importantly, can you stand up in this place and feel the shift? Can you imagine the feeling you'd have stepping into this next part of your life? And I invite you to repeat after me out loud or silently, as if you now are listening to me through a speaker in your heart and speaking from your heart. Let your focus shift down there now. Even though I feel some confusion, I deeply love and accept myself. It's okay to be unsure. About such a large step forward. So I don't have to decide on such a large step forward. Because it feels so good so comfortable and empowering. So easy and accomplished. To take one step towards my joy. Good, and letting yourself relaxed for just another moment before we come back. I invite you to ask yourself now and in the future a strange question, but wrapped in compassion, and that is, what am I willing to suffer for? That is usually the guiding light in your life purpose. So if your purpose involves animals, would you be willing to walk in the rain and a thunderstorm and get all muddy in order to rescue a dog or a cat? If you want to be an artist, would you be willing to spend hours and hours and hours alone, painting, doubting yourself, yet ultimately feeling so free? and know that this and many more answers will come in the next few days. So now see that there is a ladder on the other side of that slide. Walk over to it and we will count from 5 to 10. And at 10, you'll climb to the very top and come back to the room you're in, feeling refreshed, alert, calm, feeling more secure, more determined, and more certain that you are good enough and you're already making changes. Stepping up, 5. Stepping up again, 6. Feeling more energy moving through your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. All 10 of those toes! I bet they're your favorites. 7. 8. Feeling more and more alert, feeling grateful for the body you have and the room that you're in and the air that you're breathing and even my voice. 8. 9. Knowing your voice is the most important and it is clearer than ever and comfortable. And 10. Open your eyes, stretch, scratch your nose, and you are exactly who you need to be. We take our whole lives to find that out. So take care. I hope to see you soon. If you'd like more things like this, you can look into the Eden Method on YouTube. There are books about energy medicine, and of course, you can always reach out to me either in the comments of this video or in a group I do on BetterHelp. So I'm sending you lots of good energy. And before we go, I'd like to just get an intuitive message that whoever is watching this needs to know. Okay. And if you don't want to stay for that, that's okay. You can go. But I am grateful that you are all here. Okay. Alright. So you should know that if you have been struggling to find that spark or that fire or that happiness or passion even, you should know that prosperity is on the other side of that. And that if I'd like you to think about yourself on a map and what is to the south of you? Is there a person or a place or a job you'd like or somebody you care about? Whatever's to the south of you, if you're watching this, it's something to consider because it will help you to release the emotions that have been blocking your happiness, and you will start to feel more passion and more intuition and make more money. And you may have actually been to this place about 5 months ago or 5 weeks ago. And above all, soon as you know what lights you up, take action, don't wait. So take care, I'll see you soon.